quick focus story because this is coming right after 2 days when the Supreme Court previously on Monday passed an order directing the authorities in Delhi-NCR to swiftly end the dog menace. Because now it appears that the Supreme Court is now looking to review the same order that was passed on Monday. Even as we speak, over the last 48 hours itself, we have witnessed 2 separate incidents of stray dogs attacking human beings. Now in Bengaluru, 2 college students were attacked, one of them said to be in a critical condition, and this was followed by another incident where a young girl was attacked by a pack of stray dogs. Now this again begs the question, if this is not the time to curb the stray dog menace, then when is? Now what is being said that a 2-judge bench of the Supreme Court thought so as well, and what they said in their court order on Monday, especially when it comes to issuing the directions to the Delhi government and the administration concerned, that they have to act fast, they have to act swiftly, and within 8 weeks, we are told this direction has now been issued. The stray dogs who have been to sterilize them and to accommodate them in shelters and in pounds and not to release them back in public spaces. Rucha is also connected with us right now. Rucha, this is coming at a time because the opinion seems to be largely divided. We've seen protest on ground. The call that has now happened even when it comes to dog lovers and animal rights activists in Mumbai, where they have been holding such protest march.
Well, of course, we are seeing how the dog lovers in Mumbai are now coming out in protest of to save the dogs and not to take away from the streets where they belong. We are joined by some people who continue to say that they do have complaints and they are satisfied with what the Supreme Court has taken decision on the stray dogs. क्या लगता है आपको डॉग्स को रास्ते पे रखना क्या सेफ है या सुप्रीम कोर्ट के डायरेक्शन के अनुसार उन्हें शेल्टर में रखा जाना सही रहेगा?
नहीं, उनको सेंटर में रखना जाएगा तो अच्छा ही है, लेकिन कोई लोग भी डरते हैं ना उनकी वजह से कि कुत्ता काटेगा तो क्या करेंगे, कुछ ये होएगा। इसके लिए सेफ है, अच्छे है, लेकिन वो भी एक प्राणी है, कुत्ता भी एक प्राणी है। वो सब लोग घर में भी पालते हैं उसके लिए। ऐसा नहीं कि बाबा उसको छोड़ते हैं क्या, कोई अच्छा भी है, कोई ये भी है, तो संभालना मांगता है उनको।
आपको क्या लगता है उनको शेल्टर में रखना
ही बेटर है, क्योंकि वो गंदगी भी करते हैं और सब इधर जो पार्क में जो घूमते हैं वो बूढ़े लोग रहते हैं, किसको काटने का भी डर रहता है, तो उधर उसको रखना ही अच्छा है, बेटर है। उधर उसका पालन पोषण भी अच्छी तरह से हो सकता है। इधर क्या कोई देते हैं भिखारी जैसा, वही खाते हैं, उधर ही घूमते हैं, उससे बेटर उसको उधर शेल्टर में रखेगा तो अच्छा है।
जो बेवारस है ना वो यही है ना, मतलब उसके लिए कोई रहता ही नहीं, कुछ नहीं, खाना मिलेगा तो खाएगा, नहीं तो किसको भी काटेगा, ये करेगा, इसके लिए वो बेटर है।
So the Mumbaikars are in support of the decision by Supreme Court, and while there are organizations, the dog lovers who are working for the dogs along with the
absolutely saying that they are raising their voice for the voiceless. That has been one of, as far as when it comes to the concerns and the demands that have come in against the Supreme Court directive. However, a review that will now be looked into, as far as the CGI has said, will put out, as my colleague Sagrika is also joining in, and other colleagues as well from different parts of the country. So we'll get you on hand what the situation is looking like. Sagrika, over to you.
So Amitabh, today, within 2 days, the Supreme Court is going to review the order that was passed on Monday. So on Monday, orders, polarized a lot of opinions. The Supreme Court said that the stray menace should be tackled immediately, and it said that the streets of the NCR should be without stray dogs. What did the Supreme Court say back then? Let's take you through the details. The Supreme Court put the onus on public safety. It said society should be free from stray dogs, after which it also made a few more observations. It said that there should be immediate steps that are currently needed to end this menace. Not doing this for us, it is for public interest. So the Supreme Court said the orders are for public interest because young kids at no cost should fall prey to rabies. After which the Supreme Court also said no sentiments of any nature should be involved in this decision because we are taking this for public interest. Will animal activists be able to bring back the victims of rabies? Another oral observation that was made. Legal action against those resisting the relocation of dogs. And after that, Amita, you saw the kind of protests that have been taking place, the opinions that have been so divided across the spectrum.
All right, Sagrika, thank you for that. Let's take that up to our reporters there on ground, because coming in from Bengaluru, We have Neha who is connected with us. Neha, Monday, when it comes to this directive that was given by the Supreme Court, shortly after incident of stray dog menace being reported where 2 girls were attacked, one of them said to be in a critical condition.
Well, Amita, of course, we heard from the college authorities in that case as well, where students were attacked. 2 girls, in fact, 2 young girl students were attacked in Bengaluru itself by a pack of stray dogs that had entered their university premises. While this said that right now both of them are said to be out of danger. They're recuperating currently in the hospital and they're doing okay, is what the college had said. It's understandably so become quite a concern over here in Bengaluru as well. But much like in other parts of the country, we saw that opinions were divided, and in Bengaluru too it clearly seems like the opinions continue to remain divided, with many suggesting that stray dogs should be behind shelters and many others saying that it's extremely inhumane and unfair to have these treaties behind those shelters and not on the roads where they've used to be all of these years.
Well, mainly that opinion came in from the Chief Minister himself, who had called such kind of a directive that was given by the Supreme Court as inhumane. But in the meantime, let's get in a word from Arpita itself. Arpita, because as far as dog menace is now concerned, it is not just restricted to Delhi-NCR. In fact, mainly when the voices that have been coming in of growing population of dogs, of not having them sterilized, mainly the voice came in from the state of Kerala itself.
Well, rightly said, Kerala is a state where stray dog menace is a very big issue. There have been multiple incidents where an 8-year-old girl was attacked and several others were attacked in different parts of the state. In fact, the Kerala government is continuously working on efforts to come up with a solution for this issue. In fact, earlier they had said that they will come up with euthanasia as a solution for dogs who have other diseases, but the High Court has stayed the order, and therefore the order is now stayed. The state government is working on other options to control this, but at a time when a Supreme Court has come up with this order, we will get in word from people here in Kerala what they think, if this is a good option that Supreme Court has said. In Kerala, there have been many incidents where you have heard that dogs have bitten people, and it's a serious issue in the state. Now, Supreme Court has asked dogs to move to shelters and not put in streets. What do you think? Do you think it is a good option, and do you form?
According to us, it's not a good option because the environment is more stressful for the dogs, and also it is more time consuming for humans. They have to feed that animals, and also they have to look all the things for that dog, and also if they come, particularly if they come with a trauma before arrival, they can also affect the dogs can also affect it.
What do you think?
The diseases that can be transmitted, animals and humans also, and
Well, largely as we have been saying and speaking to the people on ground and relevant stakeholders as well, the opinions stay divided. The RWAs, which are the resident welfare associations, welcoming such incidents as far as the directive given from the Supreme Court. Meanwhile, it is obvious what the animal rights activists and dog lovers would be saying in that defense. But thank you very much, Arpita Rucha, for joining in. To you, Neha, as well, the developments that have been coming in, but politically as well, the story has been gaining a lot of momentum amid the backlash as the larger Supreme Court bench is now ready to hear when it comes to the Delhi dog case. And this is now coming at a time when Karti Chidambaram of the Congress party seems to be now wading into a row. And this seems to be where it is coming in from the Congress leader, welcoming the top court's order, saying that India cannot be a global power with stray dogs on the road. Well, this is his point of view there. Of course, Sagarika, completely different from what their party leadership believes.
Absolutely. A stand that contradicts the stand taken by both Rahul Gandhi and Priyanka Gandhi Vadra. Karti Chidambaram goes on to say, and he's maintained his position on the order that has been given by the Supreme Court, that we can't aspire to be a global power with stray dogs on the roads. How does he go on to explain his position. He says, let me explain. To be a global power, a nation must first give a certain standard of public services to its citizens. Having unvaccinated street dogs in a free roaming state compromises the health and safety of its people. A global power will not jeopardize its own population. Then he further adds, we are wanting clean and safe spaces makes me non-human. By the way, the people most affected by unvaccinated street dogs in a free roaming state are those who walk the streets to go about their daily life chores. So this is what Karti Chidambaram has said. He says that, you know, for the country to be a global power, we cannot have stray dogs on the roads, a position that he's taken. So while Rahul Gandhi and Priyanka Gandhi are, not of the same opinion as taken by leaders like Karti Chidambaram and also his father, P. Chidambaram.
All right. Thank you very much, Sagrika, for that. So is he now looking at the bigger picture that we're looking at as far as development of a nation, of a country is now concerned? Because you wouldn't see or find such kind of stray dog menace in other countries. But right now, the solution to the problem, as many of the dog lovers are being saying, as far as when it comes to cruelty that could be meted out to several dogs in numbers that go up to lakhs in number, because the civic authorities have not been doing their job. Not having them sterilized, not having them neutered, not having them vaccinated has led to their rapid rise in their population. However, has turned out to be a menace for humans. Were several incidents of dog bites, and many of them who have been infected with rabies. Remember, it is an incurable disease. Many of such people have lost their lives. Who are the most vulnerable? The children and the elderly are the most vulnerable when it comes to dog bites. But several celebrities as well, because this issue is also being criticized of mainly being an elite issue. There have been several voices that are coming in from the film industry who have voiced their concerns over the Supreme Court's recent directive.
Today we are facing a crisis of conscience. The recent Supreme Court decision is like a door closing on the voiceless and defenseless of our society. I wish the safety and sanctity of life was at the heart of the judgment. I wish a more nuanced and calibrated approach had been taken towards the systemic flaws which are at the root of the so-called dog menace. In silencing those who cannot protect themselves, we risk losing something essential within ourselves. This need of expedience over sympathy has caused tremendous harm. I urge the government to take action against such a drastic step, and I hope and pray the Supreme Court will try and find a fine balance embedded in justice.
However, Supreme Court had made it clear that when it comes to public safety, it is paramount. All right, we'll continue to get you more developments back after the show.